So the question is, can a father be put on child support if he's not on the birth certificate? Well, my short answer is yes, because whether you're on the birth certificate or whether you're not on the birth certificate does not have anything to do with whether you are the legal father of the child. So the only thing that establishes you as the legal father of the child is an intact marriage where you and mom are married, or if a court determines that you are the legal parent. You may be the biological parent all day long, but until you are the legal parent, you have no obligations and you have no rights. So if you are not on the birth certificate, you have no right to ask for time sharing. You have no right to get it. You have no right to see the child. You have no right to go to the child's school. You have no right to apply for government benefits such as Medicaid or daycare expenses. You have no right to do any of that, but you also have no obligation to pay child support until a court establishes paternity, making you the legal father, and then child support comes along with that. So on a petition for paternity, the only two things that have to be established are legal parent and child support. That means that time sharing or custody or visitation or responsibility is not have to be even addressed. But that actually hurts dads, because if there's no percentage of overnights, which is the last factor that goes into child support calculations, if that's not even addressed and there's no court order for time sharing, then that means your child support is going to be higher because mom has 100% of overnights and you have 0. That may not be true. You actually might be getting a 50-50 split without a court order. You may have the child 1 week and mom has the child 1 week without a court order. Or mom might say, hey, you can have the child every other weekend without a court order. But if you are court ordered for child support, you want to make sure that time sharing is ordered and it is calculated in the child support guidelines, so that way your child support amount that you owe is accurate. So until next time, thank you.
The question has been asked, is the father of my child responsible for half of my medical bills that I incurred while pregnant in Texas? Hello, my name is Laura Hurd, and I have practiced family law in San Antonio, Texas since 1987. This particular individual writes that she was in the hospital for the majority of her pregnancy due to pregnancy-related complications. The father of her child and she split about 3 months into the pregnancy, and he has not done anything to help with the medical bills. And because they were not married, she is asking whether or not he can be forced to pay part of her medical bills. The answer is yes. Two individuals who parent a child together are responsible for the child support and the medical expenses related to that child, whether or not they're married. And even though they were never married, a child support suit can be brought, a suit affecting parent-child relationship, that would order him to pay those expenses related to the birth of the child. And if he is ordered to do that, it would be considered child support, and the Attorney General would enforce it as child support.
Right now at noon, authorities arresting a man who they say confessed to kidnapping and killing his pregnant girlfriend. We were there as 32-year-old Xavier Johnson was walked into jail shortly after midnight. Police say Andrea Lloyd was abducted as she was working at a Southwest Miami-Dade group home.
And human remains were found, sadly, on Wednesday, but they have yet to be identified. Johnson now facing a judge, and Local 10's Annalise Garcia is live in Doral with more on this one for us. Annalise.
Yeah, Janice, Christie, today Johnson did appear in front of a judge, and that judge did find probable cause, and now he's being held no bond.
Mr. Johnson, good morning.
33-year-old Xavier Johnson stood before a judge Thursday morning. The judge addressed the disturbing allegations against him.
Morning. Sir, you were arrested for 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of armed burglary with an assault or battery.
Johnson, arrested in connection to the disappearance of 27-year-old Andrea Lloyd, spoke in court about possibly acquiring a private attorney.
Do you have an attorney?
Yes.
Who's your
I don't have
lawyer?
one yet, but I'm gonna get one. Go ahead.
The assets you own, the property you own, and what, jet skis and what else?
The value of my jet skis is $16,000.
Family tells us Johnson was the boyfriend of Lloyd and father of her 2 children. Lloyd also 6 months pregnant with her 3rd child.
We pray that she's alive.
Family had been searching on their own for their loved one since Wednesday. Lloyd was working an overnight shift as a caretaker at this South Dade group home. She answered a knock on the door, and police say a man beat her and abducted her from her job using her own car.
He was walking up and down the road saying, "I'm looking for my old lady," but wasn't nobody out there but him.
The next day, relatives spotted Andrea's boyfriend near a heavily wooded area near the Homestead Speedway. That's when they called police, and officers responded to that same field. A cadaver dog alerted to the presence of human remains. Police sources tell Local 10 the remains were found in a large metal box. Johnson, the boyfriend, who had arrived in a black pickup truck, was later arrested in connection to the crime. Our cameras rolling as he arrived to jail early Thursday morning. Now in court, the judge also addressed how Johnson did confess to some of these allegations. Ultimately, he did agree to a public defender. Again, he's being held no bond, so he's behind bars for now. I'm live in West Miami-Dade. Annalise Garcia, Local 10 News.
A tragic end to the search for a missing pregnant woman from Delaware County. Police found her body today, and now her boyfriend is a person of interest in the case. Action News reporter Katie Catro live for us at Upper Darby Police Headquarters with the full story. Katie.
And Shari, Philadelphia Crime Scenes Unit just showed up here at Upper Darby Police. The superintendent telling me inside of this car is another vehicle linked to the investigation. I spoke with Deanna Bryce's mother over the phone today. As you can imagine, she is very upset. Upper Darby Police knocked on her door at around 3 a.m., telling her her worst nightmare, that her pregnant daughter's body has been found. The body of 21-year-old Deanna Bryce was found a couple blocks away from where her boyfriend's car was on fire the day the couple went missing. Investigators located her body in a wooded area in southwest Philadelphia last night at 58th Street and Lindbergh Boulevard. In the daylight, we met a mother there grieving for Bryce's family.
It's very sad.
Bryce and her boyfriend, 23-year-old Justin Smith, had been missing for almost a week, since last Tuesday, March 30th. Today, Smith has become a person of interest in this investigation. Deanna was 14 weeks pregnant, carrying Smith's son. She also had a 4-year-old son waiting at home. The couple was last seen at K Laundry in Yeadon, where family members say the two were in an argument. Later that afternoon, Smith's car was on fire in Philadelphia at 59th Street and Florence Avenue. Investigators believe they found Smith's wallet and keys nearby. Today, investigators showed us the charred remains of the 2018 black Ford Fusion.
It's terrible. I mean, sadness, words don't express how sad it is.
Bryce's mother, Betty Cellini, has been pleading for her daughter's safe return for days. Today, her brother says she wants justice served.
She's a bunch of nerves and panicking.
Bryce's mother claims Smith has had previous run-ins with the law, but police couldn't comment.
And that's a scary thing. I wish my daughter would have never met him.
Again, Philadelphia crime scene just arrived here to Upper Darby police. Another car is inside there, part of the investigation. Both Philadelphia police and Upper Darby are working on this. So if you have any information, police want to hear from you. Again, Justin Smith is now a person of interest in this case. Reporting live in Upper Darby, Katie Catro, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
All right, Katie, thank you.
Is the murder of this expectant mother part of a troubling pattern? Pregnant women killed by their husband, boyfriend, or lover. Homicide is actually the second leading cause of death among pregnant women after car accidents. Not too long ago, it was the leading cause of death. Psychologist Dr. Jeff Gardier.
These are individuals who feel that this is an act of desperation. This is something that they must do in order to go on with their lives.
The best known case is Scott Peterson, who murdered his wife Lacey and their unborn baby in 2002. Forensic psychiatrist Dr. Keith Abloh is author of Inside the Mind of Scott Peterson.
In every case I've looked at, they all make sense. It may be a terrible kind of sense, but the narrative makes sense that the birth of that child represented a kind of death, an impending death for the man.
Peterson is now on death row in California. There are other notable cases. Former NFL star Ray Caruth hired 3 hitmen to gun down his pregnant girlfriend, Sherika, in 1999.
What part of the body been shot at? I don't know.
She died from her injuries, but her baby survived and is now 18 years old. Last year, Tyler Tessier was accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend, Laura Wallen, a beloved teacher from Maryland. After burying her in a shallow grave, he actually appeared at a press conference with her parents, appealing to the public for help finding her.
We just want to know if she's okay. We just want her back.
Tessier has pled not guilty and is awaiting trial.
He was the one for me.
Now comes the shocking murder of Shanann Watts, who was 15 weeks pregnant with her 3rd child. Once again, a violent death, allegedly at the hands of a loved one.